Carl and Damon here from Games, Brains and Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short. They made what into a TV series? Castlevania Nocturne, Season 2, Episode 3, The Widow's Window, written by Temio and directed by Sam Dietz and Adam Dietz. Hey, have you been enjoying this season so far with episodes 1 and 2? Building and building whatever. This is where it just becomes unstoppable. A juggernaut from this point onwards.
Yep.
I don't know if I said it in the first episode, but I'll say it now. This is my favorite season of Castlevania to date. I think it's stronger than season 3 of Castlevania the original, which is such an iconic particular season from the original trilogy, original 4 seasons.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
from
yeah.
here. It's from here, David. Like the first 2 were great, but this is
Mhm.
where we ramp it up in ways that I'm just like, I can't turn away. Remember, we begin in the past. An Egyptian temple long ago, as further along now, because vampiric Doltra is there, and other priestesses of Sekhmet are trying to find a host for her soul. So they're trying to show us how the soul thing occurred. Because obviously we don't know how we got from Droll becoming a vampire and worshipping Sekhmet to how Sekhmet's soul is infused, or blood, sorry, is infused inside Elizabeth. So the latest person basically seems like they volunteer themselves.
Yeah.
And clearly, it's not worked. Everyone's a bit scared. There's a little bit of fear in this latest volunteer. She's kind of comforted by Drolta. They're branded on the forehead by a symbol, I guess, which is your devotion to Elizabeth. The symbol basically, it's an eclipse. What it is, it's the sun with the side of eclipse around it.
Yeah.
This volunteer drinks the blood, and unfortunately it fails. She basically burns up from the inside. That's what it looks like it does to me. Like it's
Yeah.
the fire spreads out from inside, which makes a lot of sense when you see the end as well.
Yeah.
And Doltre is upset. Basically, through that, they have tried a lot. You see one priestess drop to her knees. They've tried a lot and failed. They just can't find a host.
Yeah.
Right, back to present times. The slaughtered soldiers are being taken to be used as night creatures, as Mizrak and Olrox argue over their roles. And Mizrak's words hurt Olrox clearly. Just, just, just,
It's big.
just stop, guys, man. Just kiss and make up.
But I like the fact that you can actually see it actually hurt Olrox, and so it shows that he actually clearly has feelings for Mizrak. So,
Oh, no question.
Mhm.
Maria and Tara continue to talk in their home. As the sun sets, they head out and walk through a very quiet town. Tara smells fire and blood, and they witness a cartload of bodies being taken to the abbey. This reminds Maria that she's got a bit of a dickhead father. And she's furious when she realizes what he's about to do. The dead soldiers are turned into night creatures by Emmanuel. One, the female captain, is greeted like a baby by Doltra. Okay. So I like the scene of Doltra kind of treating her like a baby, and it's suggesting that they're not going to be under the command of Emmanuel. They're under Doltra's command more than anything
Mhm.
else. The design of this night creature, I think, I think it was a little bit awkwardly sexy, designed to
Yeah.
be like it reminded me of a bit like sort of the older manga stuff,
Yeah.
where it's like she's 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 a night creature, but they've tried to keep her attractive from an animation point of view, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. So they've given her large breasts that are barely covered and basically naked from the waist down, but like more Barbie doll than anything else. She's got
Yeah.
very soft features on her face is soft. She's still got long hair and she's silver all over. I thought it was a little weird.
Yeah. A little disappointing, to be fair. Because
Oh,
they don't need to do this because they
it
know
felt
it's
weird.
fantastic. Yeah. That show's amazing.
Yeah, I feel like they purposely were like, we want to make this character not horrific looking,
Mm.
right? That
Yeah.
felt, I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm not sure like if that's just us reading too much into it, and maybe it was just an actual design of a character from a Castlevania game. Maybe
Yeah.
it is.
It's possible. I mean, most of the night creatures they come back as devil creatures. I,
Monsters.
I mean,
Yeah,
even
monsters
even Edward is with
is
his hand.
monstrous.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. This one isn't monstrous. I mean, to speak, like so to
Mm.
speak. I'd like to understand other people's opinions on this. It just when she kind of came out, I was like, oh, what's this about? Do you know what I mean? Like that.
Mm.
That's what my reaction was. You know.
Yeah,
And it's weird because they don't really draw any other woman that way, like in any way, shape, or form from an animation perspective, you know?
yeah, yeah,
I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it's an interesting new character to have. We'll get a bit more into her as it goes on. Not a big character or anything like that, but certainly someone that might be more important, I think, way down the line.
yeah.
Meanwhile, Annette continues to be haunted by her visions of evil and the spirits around him. There's this three-faced one. Now, obviously, this is to do with her ancestry, but I'm
Mm.
not too familiar with her sort of upbringing and her country's history to know what this is. I know it may be more based in voodoo and elements like that, but
Yeah,
I'm not too familiar with it. But like, it's got like a three-faced head. Looks
yeah.
quite intimidating. She's brought back to reality by Richter as they slowly row down the river. Hearing some local villagers being hunted, Richter and Annette insist on helping, much to Alucard's frustration, who basically says, look, if we keep stopping to help everybody, they're gonna get there before us. Don't be a dick, Alucard. You've got to help humans.
I, 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 I,
Oh!
I can see it from both views. Okay, okay. Obviously, there's I suppose you can say the greater good. You know, we're going to stop the entire world being wiped out or save a village of people. You know, but the Belmont, he's a Belmont. He's going to that's his job. That's his role is to protect the people.
The greater good's always a bit of a iffy one. It really, really is. And the argument is what point is saving the world if one individual person can't be?
Yeah.
It's not like they didn't know those people. They witnessing it. You would generally be making a choice to leave that person to die. It's
Hmm.
not like they're all around the country, people will be dying and they can't do a thing about it. You've got to save people when you can. Like that's it. Simple as that. He's a
It's the Belmont.
Belmont.
It's the Belmont way, exactly. Yeah.
I felt like it was a reminder that sometimes Alucard isn't human.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, yeah, yeah. Good point. Yeah.
I mean, they kill the vampires and save who they can, but here Richter kind of lets spill that he did because that Alucard's well, it's like, well, at least they don't know where we're going, and Richter's like, they might kind of know where we're going. Uh, Alucard is not happy and basically goes big brother on him here, full on
Yeah.
like you idiot, and he's just
Yeah.
like, oh, freaking Belmont, you know, like it's a full on Alucard thinks you're a dick and you should be embarrassed.
Yeah.
Annette though sticks up for Richter, shutting Alucard down. Thought that was sweet. Because
Mm.
she's basically like, look, what difference does it make now? You banging it, you giving it all this ain't going to change nothing. And Alucard's like, he did a very Witcher grunt. If you watch The
Yeah.
Witcher, the grunts of The Witcher, you know? Edward befriends the female captain of the National Guard and discuss their past and their future, which is looking bleak. I like that scene between them.
Yeah.
There's one particular night creature who is guarding Edward, who you can kind of tell is like, I do not like this guy. And every time he starts to sing and his words, this thing is proper just like, "Urgh." It's the one with four arms in its back and like several eyes in its head.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Goro basically. He'll be a bigger dick later on, but later on he's a proper just like he's obviously been assigned to guard. I vaguely remember from the first season, but here it's kind of more obvious that he's been assigned to keep Edward in check.
Yeah, yeah, and this one clearly hasn't. I don't know, hasn't got a soul come back or something, or
Or
doesn't
just
believe
doesn't
in.
care.
Yeah, yeah,
The thing is, I think if you're a villain in life, right, the soul that comes back is still villainous, right?
yeah, 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 yeah,
You might wonder why don't they just kill Edward and get rid of him? Well, because there are a lot of other night creatures that are enthralled to Edward.
yeah,
That's the thing. I think that's why you don't do that. Meanwhile, Juice is trying to find Maria, who was with her mother, being taught to use dark magic. This stopped me in my tracks. I was like, wait,
mm,
what the fuck's going on here? So obviously Maria's magic is create portals, Doctor Strange style, and
yeah,
calls things in. Well, she's calling things in from a darker place. Her portals and her creatures look different when she's angry. For example, she summons a scorpion and wonders if she's drawing them from elsewhere, changing them, or making them. She slips into the blame game before being comforted by her mother, who promises Maria that she would make the same decision she made to give up her life every single time. Then changes the subject. Terra reminds Maria about the two sides of magic. One that was used to survive or one used to slaughter. And Maria wonders if she's learned all she can about survival. Right, I spat all that out because I want to talk about this. I
mm,
was like, what the fuck is going on here? Right. I was conflicted as fuck here. I was really worried that I didn't love that we were writing Terra as a good vampire. Like, you can retain. She lost her soul. Like, she shouldn't feel love like in the same way, kind of thing. Like, it should be more of a conflict. Her vampiric nature should, maybe to begin with, she still retains some of her humanity. But as time
Yep.
goes on, she should be, vampires are vampires. I don't want good vampires. Unless she's a Dhampir who's still got a human side. No, but a vampire is a fucking vampire.
Yep.
Let's not dress up Dracula's evil ever. Look what Dracula did. Just because he loved his fucking wife did not excuse the shit that lunatic did. He was
Mhm.
the end of the world. There's a reason why he had to be killed.
Yeah.
So I was really worried. This made me go, well, what the fuck is she doing? Why would she actively be encouraging the daughter to do dark magic? And then at the same time being like, oh yeah, but I love. I was like, wait a minute here. Wait a fuck. I was so suspicious.
Yeah, I was worried too. I thought I hope they're not going to do the whole good vampire card, but obviously further down, yeah, obviously,
We're going to get more into
yeah, yeah,
this.
yeah,
But
yeah,
right now, I was just like, what is going on here? But it
yeah,
got, you know what I love? When something isn't explained, I started to wonder about where she's pulling these creatures from. I have a
yes.
theory. I have a theory.
Oh, sure, yeah,
Yes, if not hell, the infinite fucking corridor.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Like, that thing would still exist in this world. It is Castlevania, just further along in the story. The Infinite
yeah,
Corridor, and had many different places. She's drawn
yeah.
them from somewhere in there. But yeah, hell. I mean, we saw it.
Hmm.
Dracula was there, but we didn't
Yeah.
explore it, not to the extent. Mm. Anyway, we'll talk more about this in another episode.
Hmm.
Elizabeth is being told about Alucard's plan, and Dolce declares that she will go after them. I love Dolce's confidence that she is basically, I'll do everything. Cheers, boss. You know, that kind of thing. The vampire who got the information is given a reward. What a little prick he is here, right? He's a proper just like, she's like, he wants a reward, idiot. Just
He's
walk
so
away.
stupid.
Just say, it's my pleasure to serve you, and then step back.
Hmm.
His reward is being branded on the forehead, the symbol of the eclipse, which is to symbolize his devotion to Elizabeth. With that done, Doltra spies Olrox. And this is good. She's very good here. She's very good. She's basically like, hey, you, are you dedicated? You know, I know it's everybody's sacrificing something, but you always seem to not really do that much and not be around and all that kind of thing. And basically, she's calling his bluff. And
Mm.
he knows it. He is fucked. Because
Yep,
everybody's watching and like everybody knows it, and Elizabeth knows it. And it's like all he has to do is be like, he attempts to run, he's dead.
yep,
He tries to weasel his way out, he's dead. So he's branded. He's branded. And it's a great scene. He's sort of held and, he doesn't struggle smartly. But
mm.
yeah, it's a proper just like, he deserves it.
Well, they've done a clever where it doesn't actually show the branding until like the next episode.
Later,
But
yeah.
yeah, yeah, but
But he
obviously,
He fucking deserves it. This is where Olrox gets his. He is fucking care. He's such a sneaky little politician character, playing every side and trying to keep himself safe. That he's basically dancing on a pinhead now. And
means I said to him like choose a side. Basically, you're playing both sides, so choose one. You know.
it's his time is running out, and it's all falling out around him.
Yep.
We will get there, but for now, this is him getting his. I didn't feel sorry for him. I thought you had it coming, bruv.
Yep. Exactly.
Meanwhile, one of the best scenes in the show to date is now about to occur, as the abbot, who is currently praying over some of the graves of his fallen monks, is confronted by Mizrak. And I like they talk, but they talk. The abbot never speaks to Mizrak's face. He keeps
Mm.
his back to him, and Mizrak basically is like, "Look, one more time. You have a chance to repent." And the abbot, man, the voice acting, he
Yep.
basically goes on a speech about how it's too late. I've seen hell. I've looked into it, and that is where I'm going. And I'm so terrified of going there, where they're all waiting for me. They're all waiting for me to come, and they're going to torment me forever.
Yep.
That I am going to do everything possible to not get there fast. And it's honestly his face, the animation, And then the fact that he turns around when he does turn around, Mizrak's just gone. Mizrak heard enough and was
Yep, he
like,
knows.
I can't, I'm beyond, he's beyond saving. It's one of the best scenes between two characters in the show to date.
Yep.
Staggeringly good. I felt sorry for the first time for Emmanuel. I get it. He's seen hell. He's looked into it. And like, he knows. And like the fact he's like, look, the people that die first, when Elizabeth completes her task, there's no stopping her. My plans are out the window. She's going to do what she's going to do.
Yep.
And when like the world is covered in darkness, we'll wish we were the first to have died.
Hmm. I mean, we talk about many shows about how when a character dies or whatever, how we have no connection to those characters, but every character in the show we have a connection to, even if they've only had a small screen time, they've all managed to drag you in with that ability and that development of a character.
I'd say sometimes more than some of the characters in the original Castlevania. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
I don't want to whitewash what was a great show because I've not, you know, it's been a while, and there are some, you know, I like some Camilla, Lenore, obviously Cypher and Trevor and all of them wonderful
Mhm.
people. But like right now, I'm so into Nocturne's developed characters in the same way. It's because unlike Castlevania seasons 1 to 4, Nocturne is based a little bit more in reality.
Yeah.
France, the revolution, all of that happened.
Hmm.
So Mizrak tries to tell Emmanuel, well, we won't for that. He can still repent and all of that. Juiced walks through town under the eye of the townspeople who are enthralled at Elizabeth. So again, not friendly, and people clearly seeing a Belmont, they're like, yeah, one of them. Maria, meanwhile, is beginning to summon larger and darker creatures, encouraged by her mother. A large wolf, more akin to a monster that comes out wild. Terra sets about teaching Maria to control it, and she is able to calm it and make it subservient. And we know this isn't good for the girl, but you know who else knows it isn't? Juice, who simply just comes in like a house on fire and attacks Terra. They have a brief fight. Terra does get the better of him, and there's a great scene where she automatically leans in for a bite, but collects herself and apologizes and lets him up. And Maria watches all of this shocked, you know? Um, and so that's the kind of scene. Because if you forget, Juiced obviously knows Terra, and even saying to her, like, you're a creature of the night, you can't live. I'm sorry, but this has got to happen.
Yep.
Now she does get the better of Juiced, but I think there's a reason. Simply this,
Yeah.
Juiced is out of practice.
I've got my reason too because he still hasn't developed his he hasn't found his magic yet either yet. So he's of course he's weak, you know. So he needs his training.
Not even that as well. He's not fought for a while.
Hmm.
You see what I mean? Like she's a young vampire. She's got to be tough. But like, you know, they're kind of just sort of facing off against each other. And he's kind of saying to her, like, you can't be around Maria. But then they hear the sounds of night creatures. And they go to see that Elizabeth has an army. The National Guard have been fully transformed now. And Juice, Maria, and Terra watch from the edge of the woods. They then see Drolta, shocked to see her, of course. And that gives Maria a chance to slip away, heading to the Abbey. Terra basically like, can you go after her? Stop her. I can't go. It's still the daytime. She can't leave the shadow of the woods, and so on. And he's like, well, why? Why have we got to rush after? And she's like, she's gonna kill her father. Nothing is gonna send you to hell quicker than patricide. It's not a
Yep.
good idea. Deserved or not, no.
Yep.
Meanwhile, in Paris, Alucard, Richter, and Annette arrive just as Louis the 16th is being executed. This is the last that will be executed. The spirits haunting Annette nearby, and she witnessed this incredible scene of the spirit of Louis the 16th being taken away, being
Mm.
collected. But because she witnessed this, she seems to be enthralled too, as spiritual tendrils wrap around her wrists and start to drag her away.
Yeah.
And that's how we actually end on a cliffhanger more than anything else. Listen, this is fabulous. This is fabulous for one thing really more than any other, which is simply the Emmanuel, the Abbot, and Mizrak scenes. In fact, I'd pretty much say everything that Mizrak does in this with these words with Olrox, but in Olrox's branding scene, there's just some incredibly great scenes here. The
Yep.
stuff with Maria and the developing stuff with Terra is really exciting. I loved it. Again, but this is where it felt like it felt like things were getting bigger. It felt like
Yeah.
big things were happening.
Yeah, I was so into this episode that I couldn't. As I said, I watched the entire thing back to back, and I've since watched the entire thing again. By the way, so
So have I. I've actually watched this one twice as well. It's because of episodes like this. It's simply
mm.
phenomenal, and it's about to get a whole lot better. That was episode 3, The Widow's Window. You got any thoughts on this one? You know what to do? Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It does help us out. You can find us at gbhbl.com and across all social media platforms. And if you really want to give us a bit of extra support, please consider buying us a cup of coffee over on our coffee page. Thank you.